All right, this video, this is exactly why you watch this channel. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So this video is all about grip taper, and yes, that does sound exciting, I realize, but specifically what I want to look at here is what happens when we start changing the amount of taper in a golf grip. Traditional grips have a certain amount of size reduction, we'll call it, from here at the butt end as they move towards the tip, right? It gets smaller and smaller moving towards the tip. Now you also have grips that are known as reduced taper grips, or Golf Pride Plus4, or Lamkin Plus grips that try and reduce the amount of taper so it almost is more of a parallel running grip from the top here down to the bottom. But what I want to look at specifically is not only what happens when we try standard grip taper versus reduced grip taper, but also what happens if we actually make a super aggressive grip taper. That being, instead of building up the bottom hand, we build up the top hand. So we've got a much thicker top section of this grip and a much smaller, by comparison, lower section. What's going to happen? So very simple test. I've got a driver here. We're going to use the exact same grip, but we're going to use 3 different tape buildup methods to try standard taper, reduced taper, and super taper. We're going to see what happens. All right, first up, we've got just the standard taper grip. This is just standard size grip, 1 layer of tape underneath, no buildup of any kind. This is going to kind of be our baseline for this whole test, but we're starting here. Oh, by the way, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon when you get down there so you're alerted when I post new videos. Look, nobody else is doing content like this, so you might as well know when it comes out. All right, let's get started. Let's hit a few balls with this standard configuration. Oh, don't go in the bunker. Fly the bunker. Get over the bunker. Was a little high on the head. Wasn't terrible though. All right, had a couple that went a little left, a couple that went a little right. None of them were hit fantastic, but none of them were hit terrible. So that's our starting point. Now let's take this grip off, build up the tape layers underneath this lower section to give us a reduced taper grip. Okay, next up, reduced taper grip. So put the same grip back on, but underneath here, 4 extra layers of tape down here on this section, kind of staggered so that you have a reduced taper. This bottom section is going to feel thicker. The top section is going to feel the same as it did before. And we'll see what happens now. Can definitely tell a difference. That bottom hand feels like that grip's a little thicker. What we always sort of assume is going to happen here is this is going to kind of keep your bottom hand from moving around so much with that thicker grip. Tendency might be to hit the ball maybe a little bit further to the right, but we'll see what happens. That was probably the best one of the day so far. Yeah, there we go. 1.44 efficiency, 159 ball speed. If I can get close to 160 ball speed, I'm pretty happy. So everything right there looks pretty good. Again, wasn't necessarily the longest of the bunch, but was definitely the straightest. Just left it a touch open. Spin's going to kick up a little bit there. Still not terrible. Good efficiency again, good speed, good club speed, good ball speed actually, still 159. Kind of the same again, maybe slightly more open. Yeah, that one kicked up a little higher, I think, overall. This one definitely feels a little bit bigger on the bottom hand, and I feel like maybe it's a little bit harder to turn the club over. Let's find out what happens now when we go completely off the rails and do a super taper, fat butted grip. Okay, last up we've got what I'm calling the super taper or the aggressive taper grip. So instead of the 4 extra layers of tape being under the bottom hand, well, they are now under the top hand. So this section of the grip is much thicker. Down here, closer to the shaft, it's standard size. Now, I don't think I've ever actually seen a golf grip advertised or marketed as aggressive taper or super tapered. Let me know down in the comments, have you ever seen, have you ever heard, have you ever tried an aggressive or super tapered golf grip? The fact that I've never heard of one, the fact that I've never seen one makes me think this is a really bad idea, but unless we try it, you can't really say. So again, everything else is the same. Same Mizuno driver, same Ventus TR blue shaft, same grip, just different amount of build-up tape on it. Let's see what happens with this grip. Honestly, doesn't feel terrible when I swing it. I'm not really sure what to expect. I don't know if my bottom hand's going to be super active in this swing, and I'm going to rope hook everything. Let's see. I was way out on the toe, but not terrible. That right there is kind of more what I was expecting it to look like, with a little bit further left. Pretty good numbers, good ball speed. Club speed pretty much staying the same. Definitely turned it a little bit more and was quite a bit further to the left. I was hit a little high on the face, but definitely got out there pretty good. I kind of thought this would feel weirder than it does. It doesn't really feel that strange overall. That one was hit pretty good. I'll be interested to see the numbers on that one. Let's see what kind of ball speed we got there. Another pretty good one. A little bit more draw on it, but things to point out here probably. First off, notice club head speed basically stayed the same throughout everything, right around 110. Ball speed, I did get the fastest ball speeds with the reduced taper grip. For whatever reason, it may just be the shots that I hit today in this test, but I did see a little bit more solid contact in that reduced taper grip. I have to say, overall, when I went into this thinking about what should happen, I figured the reduced taper grip would be more likely to be a little bit more to the right. I figured the extra taper, the super taper grip, may be a little bit more to the left, and the standard taper would be a little more centered. Kind of what we saw here, although really for me the standard taper grip was actually just a couple left and a couple right, but it did seem like the reduced taper, a little bit more of a propensity to go right, and the super taper, a little bit more likely to go left. Numbers-wise on distance, I actually got the best overall distance with this super taper grip. I hit it not quite as solid, but I was hitting a little higher on the face, so a little higher launch, a little lower spin, and that gave me a little bit better carry and total distance numbers overall. Now, that being said, what did I actually feel like swinging with each of these grips? Which ones did I like versus not like so much? Going into this, I kind of felt like the super taper grip would be the worst because you never see it. No one ever talks about doing a more tapered version of a golf grip, and nobody offers one, you know, specifically from Golf Pride or Lamkin or whoever. So I kind of thought going in this was going to feel weird. It was going to just feel uncomfortable. And really, honestly, I didn't think it was actually that bad. In fact, for me personally, if you just said you can either play 18 holes with reduced taper or the super taper, I feel like I'd probably lean towards the super taper, honestly. This top part with more taper to it gave me a very stable handle. I didn't feel like I was gonna lose the club anywhere. It felt like this grip was basically locked in my hand. I didn't really notice a big change in the lower hand as far as being more flippy either. So again, overall, if I was to pick between the reduced +4 version or the super taper, I kind of lean towards the super taper. Now that being said, would I pick the super taper over the traditional taper? That's a little harder question. Honestly, I think I'd have to do this a few more times, try it with the irons, try it with the wedges, try it with some other clubs, and actually see how it feels there, see what the numbers look like there. But at least today, with the driver in this setup, I was pleasantly surprised how much I actually liked this super taper, this aggressive tapered grip. Do I think it's worth maybe experimenting with? Yeah, I would say if you've got a air compressor or a tire inflator that you can use to put the grips on and off with quickly, try some different tape setups and see maybe if a non-traditional tape setup might actually work better. I don't think it's a bad idea. Hey, again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you go down below, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in a fitting, in a custom build, in a repair, all my contact information is down below, and I will see you on the next video.